Long live the king.
This is Bowery King from the John Wick franchise. He's the leader of an underground spy network that pretends to be homeless people and helps John Wick significantly. But what if I told you he's a side character with less than 15 minutes of screen time in each John Wick film? And yet many people will say he's their favorite character. So how does a side character like him become unforgettable? And what if I told you he's not the only one? The side characters lift the film up and make it what it is. They're all fun to watch and get you invested.
And if you wish to remember, this is the choice you must make.
While the John Wick movies are famous for their massive stunts, realistic action, and neo-noir style, it all overshadows one of the greatest things about the franchise, and that is their characters. Every character is massively interesting and curious.
Exciting, yeah.
For the purpose of this video, I'm going to define the side characters as any character that speaks, is not John Wick, and is not the main villain. When it comes to John Wick characters, if they speak, you can't take your eyes off them. All the characters add up to a rich tapestry of people. People like Bowery King or Caine are built layer by layer. Caine can be seen as a reluctant killer who, even though he's blind, uses tools to become one of the deadliest assassins in the John Wick universe. He's torn between loyalty and the survival of his loved ones, and as a calm and collected persona with an emotional core, he becomes 10 times more interesting than a lot of characters.
Is my daughter free now?
Wait.
But for being a side character, he's one of the more fleshed out ones. And I've already talked about the Bowery King. So what about a smaller character like Aurelio, who appears in the first and second chapter of John Wick? Well, he's also just as layered, as he's a straightforward owner of a car shop who speaks his mind no matter who he's talking to, has an occasional dry sense of humor, and shows respect to those who deserve it.
Let me know when it's fixed.
All right. They'll be ready Christmas 2030.
Now that's interesting when paired with the right scene partners such as John Wick, but it's not as interesting as Caine. It's because he serves a different purpose. Aurelio's job is to be simple and relatable, and I think part of that is that the characters don't waste words. Their dialogue is short, direct, and clear.
I'm tasked to dole out the beatings, don't receive them.
Rusty, I guess.
To what do we owe the pleasure?
The writers will occasionally use metaphorical speech for certain characters to change how we see them.
Dessert. The finest cutlery, all freshly stoned.
This is Sommelier, a clever name for an arms dealer who is well-spoken and well-informed about weaponry. He's got less than 5 minutes of screen time and could easily be a recurring character. And he shows the other end of the spectrum of their dialogue usage. Even though he occasionally speaks in metaphor, he still uses short, direct dialogue, making him seem more enlightened. Every word is carefully thought out in the writing. In Chapter 4 of the film series, John Wick only says 380 words, and it's so interesting to watch. There's a huge list of characters that we only see in short moments that leave a lasting impact. And that impact is caused not only by the dialogue, but by the introductions and the wardrobes. Characters like Killa are remarkable. In film, you can make the frame look interesting through many methods. Two of them that they use are color and shape. And Killa is a towering physical presence. He's got a massive shape you can't ignore, with a look to him impossible to ignore. With gold teeth, impressive strength, a purple suit, and the fact that he isn't just a mindless brute. His entire existence stands out from the norm we expect from the John Wick series, and keeps us watching. He's a great example of making someone stand out and layering their character within the story.
Dead man's hand, Mr. Wick.
But there's also more subtle ways that steal your attention without being blatant like Killa. A good example is Winston, the manager of the New York Continental. He's a cold, calculated man who plays chess with people and real human lives instead of wood pieces. Acting as a sophisticated mentor to John Wick, and while we know he enjoys and appreciates some people, his true loyalties are ambiguous other than the one to himself.
Oh, he has to die.
Some argue that people like Caine, Killa, Aurelio, Bowery King, or Winston are archetypes, which means a character or idea that are found commonly. But these people are very wrong, as the attributes of making them look different, talk different, and stay true to themselves, it all comes together through consistently. But more importantly, the actors. The people playing these characters portray them as extremely interesting people, with great line readings, great facial expressions, and subtle ways of reacting.
I am really pissed off. pissed, John. Are you?
They're what make these well-written characters so fun to watch, and what makes them special and different from all the other archetypes. It says a lot when you literally can't choose a favorite because they're all amazing. And this isn't the only example or time this happens between characters. I had to stick to just a few characters because there's easily more than 15 to 20 I could talk about. So next time you watch, pay close attention to those side characters. They might not be the stars, but they steal the spotlight and do a lot of heavy lifting.
The king is dead.
And if you find characters in film interesting, I suggest watching this video about Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage as a character.